Well, hi there. I'm Diana Montford, the world's first transgender television journalist. Go figure. Born male became female. Now, a lot has changed since the Stonewall Rebellion in 1969, and a lot hasn't. And we're going to see two people of different generations, two gay men, who are going to tell us what things are better and, believe it or not, what things are worse. My guest is going to be LGBTQ activist and filmmaker Mr. Eric Ocasio, who is going to show us his wonderful film, and we're going to see that momentarily, I guess, aren't we? Let's see the film.
In myself and who I am has always stemmed from my career.
Pride means to me is just to have fun and just to enjoy what life has to offer.
Pride means a lot to me. It means careers, it means being healthy, it means being focused, and it means normalization.
Expressing yourself with no limitations, not downing yourself for anybody else, just being true to who you are and what you love, and just living your best truth and living your best life.
I think that it meant a lot more at that time, and as weird as it might sound, because we were still somewhat limited. But at that time, it meant something.
I realized I was different in first grade when I had like this little crush on a guy in the same class. I was like,
I always believe everybody always knows. We always know what sexually attracts us and what we're attracted to.
It was more of what other people's perceptions of me would be like if I were to tell them, and that was the scariest part.
There was never ever one really like defining moment of coming out. It just kind of happened. It gradually happened.
I come home and she's like, what is all of this? What is all of this on your iPad? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, what is all this Snapchats of texting guys and everything? And I was like, oh yeah, we're just having, those are my friends. Friends don't talk about sex.
I really wish I had a moment like that, because some people keep it quite special.
But when that happened, I was like, okay, I want to come out to everybody. So I came out to my god sister, came out to my other family members. I came out to like the crushes that I had in high school at the time.
There was a time when people would look at you and actually say, you're not doing what you should do for the LGBTQ population if you don't stand up and say you're gay.
Susan, I'm gay.
I hope that it has changed to where LGBTQ people and members within our family want to stand up and say, I am a kick-ass lawyer.
You're gay and she's straight.
Very good. Now, if you can guess my weight, you'll get a T-shirt that says, that's really none of your business.
With a degree, cum laude. And by the way, I'm gay.
I'm not too much educated on the gay history. I would love to. It's something that I'm working on.
Starting back in the Stonewall in the late 1960s, equality. I mean, everybody wanted equality. Everybody did not want segregation. Every so often you'd hear of someone who was gay coming out in show business, or someone who within the fashion industry. In the 90s, everything exploded. And along the way, of course, we also had a crisis. It was the HIV crisis.
From my understanding, I know that a lot of people in the New York era, the Bronx era, is kind of like a high percentage, or used to be a high percentage of HIV/AIDS.
I know what it's like to have friends call me up and say 2 or 3 times in a row, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to be okay. And I know what was going to happen, what the next thing they would say. I know that. These kids today, they don't understand that there was not that plague. I was there.
This world is a work in progress, and people are still being discriminated against, still being verbally and physically abused because of their orientation.
I would love for it to be a time when we don't have to really have any information sessions about the LGBTQ population, that it would be so integrated
I see gay men, gay women, straight women, transgender women in 10, 15 years just walking down the street, living their best lives.
That does not mean that the eras and the movements that I went through are not important. But where I want our population to be now is in the history books, and I want us to hold on to it and cherish it. But I don't want us to live it anymore.
How great is that? That was a film by LGBTQ activist and filmmaker, Mr. Eric Ocasio. Excuse me, he was going to be joining us any second now. And here he is now. And we're going to talk about his wonderful film, which shows really the differences between the generations and how things have changed and how things have not changed. You notice that the young man said, well, his mother saw it on his computer and said, well, what's this? And he lied about it because I guess he felt he had to for a time, and then he didn't. And that is a shame. And as the older man pointed out, there was a time when you had to be out if you wanted to help the LGBTQ community. I've been trans all my life, and I never had the option of hiding in the closet. But many people did and do, and many people do still hide in the closet, which is very sad. Come out wherever you are, But where is Eric? He must be coming soon, she said, cueing the guest. But anyway, it's very difficult to be something most people don't like. And that's just the way it is, that we are a despised minority still. I mean, people might smile at us, but what are they really thinking, So, I don't know what to say. Here he is, the guest, Mr. Eric Ocasio, the filmmaker of the film you just saw. Excuse me. Well, hi there. He's putting on his microphone, of course, because it's a talkie. We don't do silent films, even though I might look like someone in a silent film, but anyway.
Hi, Diana.
Hi, Eric. How are you? Your wonderful film.
Thank
Your
you.
wonderful, wonderful film.
Is this thing on?
I don't know. Is it?
It is. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Thank you for having me on your show.
My pleasure. My honor. You're great. So now, what gave you the idea to make this film?
I was really interested in. Woo!
Yes.
I was really interested in
The prop desk.
in understanding the different dynamics between the different generations. Ever since I was a young gay, I always gravitated towards the older generations, and I always knew and appreciated where I came from. So when I thought of this project, I wanted to see how now I'm part of the older. Well, you know what I mean.
Yes. You're a grown-up, let's put it that way.
Yeah, so I wanted to see how the younger generation saw it, and if it was from the same perspective that I did.
I was sad that the younger man didn't know much, and he admitted as much, that he didn't know much about gay history. See, now, they teach other types of history in school. Why not LGBTQ history? Can you come a little closer for the camera?
I think we're good. I think we're here. Very intimate.
Yes. We have to be closer in life so it looks good for the camera than we would ordinarily be, So. But anyway, now, how did you find these two men?
I found one of them through one of my peers, the younger guy. His name is Malik. And Truett I knew from being a producer at where I work.
There you go. Yeah, and you are also a producer at Manhattan Neighborhood Network, where you are seeing this show, yes. And do you do a show?
No.
Are you going to?
Maybe.
I hope you do.
We'll see.
It would be great, especially an LGBTQ show.
Maybe. We'll see.
That would be
see, that doesn't define me, though.
I agree. I'm not defined, but they insist on defining us by that, know. Like when they stick us in jail, it'll be for being gay,
Yeah, well, they did.
They stuck you in jail for being gay?
No, I'm saying that back in the day they did.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Before my time.
Yes, not sadly before mine, but thank God I was never arrested.
Yeah.
So now, Truett, of course, has a very different perspective. I don't know how old he is, the older man, but he seemed a good 20 years older than the younger man, give or take. And he's from the South, which must have been very difficult for him, you know, being gay and being in the South.
I'm not sure, and I can't speak on his behalf, but I know that he's well-traveled and he's lived in Europe as well, so I think he has a different perspective.
I'm going to
on
get my
life.
water. Well, he might, but what I mean is the homophobic, bigoted yahoos don't. You know?
Right.
And that's what we have to watch out for. Gay bashing is still, sadly, a reality. I think you showed a picture of Kevin Aviance or someone who had been bashed.
I don't think it was
Recently.
Kevin, but yeah, Kevin's going through a lot, yeah.
But I mean, you know, they still gay bash. They still prevent people from finding employment. Now, there's that new law that, religious exemption. Well, it's against my religion to bake a cake for a same-sex couple. So buy some Twinkies and good luck to you. I mean, no, that doesn't work. Sorry, you know that. What's next? Like, it's against their religion to be nice to women or people of color or something? No, that does not work. We do not live in a theistic nation. They will have to get over it. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was younger, I was more on the forefront, and I would march, and I would be up in arms, like I was very ferocious about it. And as I've grown older, my activism has changed in a sense.
Making films is more effective. There are a lot of marchers. There aren't that many filmmakers.
Well, there's tons of filmmakers, and but there's different ways and different approaches to go about it, you know. So I don't know, and in the society that we live in today, it's such a PC society, and people are up in arms.
Politically correct society, yeah.
So people are up in arms about every single thing, every single day, just for the hell of it.
Yeah, you can't say anything about anyone anytime. So.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like the homophobes say, hey, you can't say that, I'm a homophobe, and I'm damn proud of it. Love this country or leave it. Get out here, you commie faggot. Yeah, shit.
So yeah, I think my approach has changed throughout the years.
I do that so well, don't I? I'm a frustrated actress. But anyway, you were saying.
No, I was just saying I think my approach has changed throughout the years.
But also the pressures of adulthood tend to change one's modus operandi when it comes to protesting and everything. I mean, now you have responsibilities. You have a schedule you have to keep to. Bills to pay. It's different now, you know?
Yeah. I think one of my proudest moments was marching on Washington against DOMA. I think that was in 2009, 2008, 2009.
You must have been very young then.
Yeah, I think I was 20 years old. And I marched right behind Cleve Jones. Like, I didn't plan on it, but I just ended up in the beginning of the march. Because we just happened to arrive. We took a bus from New York City to DC all together.
Right.
And
been there myself. I know the drill.
Yeah, it was incredible. And we just walked to where we thought everyone was, forming, and we just happened to be in the front of the march. And then we just started marching. So we just lucked out to be in the front and right behind him. It was incredible. Something that I'll never forget.
Well, that's good because some people would be aghast at being so much the center of attention by being in front.
Not me. I'm very shy.
Yes, I can see that. So what are your future plans for filmmaking?
So I work here at M&N.
Manhattan Neighborhood Network.
Yeah, and I love it. I also...
That was nice and political. Okay. They heard that. Don't worry. Oh, I love it too. Yes. Oh.
I absolutely do love it here.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I also freelance as a set decorator.
Wonderful.
In the art department.
Wonderful.
Set design. I would love to branch out and further my career to being an art director. So in the last year, I've worked on 10 different films. I actually just went to a premiere last night at Lincoln Center
Oh, wonderful.
for
What
a
was
film
it?
that I worked on. So I'm also a film student. So I'm finishing up my
And
my
working
student
here
career.
is like work study. Being a film student and working here, that's great.
Yeah, so I'm very busy.
I hope you entered that film to get a grade for it, because it's really good.
Yeah, yeah. So the school that I go to is City College, and the film program at City College is the first documentary film school in the country.
That's great.
So my professor Dave Davidson created a film about that, a documentary,
wonderful.
a feature documentary.
Wonderful. A friend of
And-
mine got her degree in psychology at City College.
Yeah, it's an incredible institute.
Yeah.
So
And it was free in her day. Now they charge.
yeah, that was part of the film. So so he created a documentary about that, and he included reenactments in that. So my part was to do the set design within within those reenactments.
Right, and keep it period, because it would presumably be. In 1991, I did an interview with someone from City College, a professor who was very much up in arms about the fact that they were starting to charge in 1991. And that was terrible. That was when my friend was going to school to get her master's in psychology. And they say it's going to go back to being free. Do you think it will? I hope it does.
No, there's nothing free in this world.
There used to be.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Not anymore. But now, do you plan to be, what kind of films do you want to concentrate on in the future?
I want to tell stories of Latinos. I'm very proud of being Latino.
I am too.
I want to tell stories about.
Not that we can help it, whether we're proud or not, we just are. But okay, yeah.
I want to tell stories about the disenfranchised,
Yes.
and I want to tell queer stories.
Do you want to do documentaries or narratives?
I don't want to put myself in a box.
Okay.
So right now my career path is narrative film, but I'm obsessed with documentary as well. When I think of filmmaking, I tend to think of making documentary projects. But finishing off my career right now as a student, I'm on the track of creating, my thesis will be a narrative film.
Wonderful. If there's a part in there somewhere, you know. But anyway, I'm not kidding. I mean, I have cara dura. I ask everyone for everything. I don't give a damn. But
I actually just created, I just finished post on a short film about
post-production.
About a white middle-aged Trump supporter.
Ew. Yes.
She's a mother, and we
She
follow
sure
her.
is. She's a real fucking mother. Yeah, you got that right.
She has a baby.
She's not that middle-aged then if she has a baby.
Yeah, I mean, well, she's
35-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The film follows her. She's homeless, and it
Oh,
follows
she's homeless and she's a Trump supporter? Really? That's real smart of her, isn't it?
in New York City.
Oh, wow. Hey, Ms. Brainiac. And she's a Trump supporter.
So the film follows
We'll kick
her
her out
in
of
a
the
night,
shelter then.
and then a night in her life, as she navigates the subway system.
Yeah, poor.
And then
that's
she
terrible.
clashes with a Latina woman.
For why? Why?
You're gonna have to watch the film and see.
What's it called?
The film is called Breaking Down Walls.
Yes. But does this woman learn that Trump is not on her side?
You're gonna have to watch the film and see.
Well, she should. I mean, that's just, you know, I mean, and I know a lot of trans people who work full time but live in shelters because they can't afford New York City apartments, you know? I know a lot of straight cisgender people who work full time and live in shelters because there's no such thing as a cheap Manhattan apartment anymore, you know?
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, and that's due to Bloomberg and his friends and all that. And now, de Blasio...
Well, the city's for the rich. this city has turned into only rich people can afford to live it.
Well, and that's true.
Yeah.
I'm rent stabilized, and I've been here a long, long time, so I can afford to live it.
Right.
But if I wanted in my apartment today, it would out of the question. Absolutely out of the question.
Yeah.
Do you live where, in Connecticut?
No, I live in Brooklyn.
Oh, that's cool. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, you know, I don't want to be cast as a Trump supporter. Thanks. I don't do horror movies. I'm sorry. But anyway.
No, that film is done already.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, but
it's great.
I'm sure
I'm gonna
it
give
is.
you a copy.
Okay,
It's
sounds
amazing.
good.
Yeah.
So we'll come back and show it to us.
Okay.
That would be great. So now, if people want to contact you because they want to talk about this film or about your activism or anything, maybe filmmaking, there are a lot of filmmaking buddies out there. How can they contact you?
They can email me at ericprofessional@gmail.com.
ericprofessional@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or they can go to my Instagram page,
And that would be?
which I'm chronicling. My program is 25 filmmakers. So I am curating that page for me and my peers, and it's at CCNY 2020 Film.
Okay, at CCNY 2020 Film. Every time I hear 2020, I think of Barbara Walters saying 2020. I love it. But anyway, she's gone now. But whatever.
She's not gone.
No, well, she's gone mentally. Maybe she's a Trump supporter. No, I'm kidding. I love Barbara Walters. Don't send me nasty emails, you bitch. How dare you trash Barbara Walters? I love Barbara Walters. I want to take a place with her on Fire Island and eat her till she screams. No, I'm kidding. That was a fucking joke. Anyway, I get dirty, you know. I work blue. Is your mother going to see this show? I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's
That
my
was
biggest
dirty.
supporter.
I'm
She
sorry,
came to the premiere
Senora Ocasio. Forgive me.
She came to the premiere last night. It was a great night.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And now, boy, that was really dirty of me, wasn't it? What I said, that was just filthy. I'm sorry. But anyway, see, you should put me in your movie. I'm fun. But anyway, so now, when did you first realize you wanted to be a filmmaker?
I realized at a young age that I love being creative. So I picked up, a video camera with my friends in 6th grade, and we would make home movies.
When I was in
sketch
6th grade, there were no video cameras.
Yeah.
There was a little crank camera.
Yeah.
You were saying?
It was pretty cool. So my career has gone in very many different paths. I started off in photography. I did nightlife photography in New York City.
Wonderful.
And met amazing people. That's where you meet people.
Sure.
In nightlife.
I
in the
know.
clubs.
I used to work in clubs, yeah.
Yeah, so I did that. And then I started working in different roles for people that I've met in the clubs. I did a lot of music videos. And then it just kind of branched out from there. And then I decided to take the dive and go to film school.
Weren't you
about 4
afraid
years
that,
ago.
like, maybe you wouldn't be able to make a living in the arts? That maybe you should do something sensible, like take the police exam or something?
No, because I never let fear be the reason not to do something,
Right.
I just take the dive and just do it.
Good.
Yeah.
That's very brave of you. I wish the rest of us could say that. I've done things out of fear, or not done things out of fear.
Yeah. I think life is too short for that.
I guess.
I think we should just do what we want to do what makes us happy.
See, that's the generational difference between us. In my generation, we thought ahead and thought, well, I have to make a living and I have to do this. In your generation, you think, it'll happen.
Yeah.
That's great.
It has to. You have to make it happen. That's the difference between you're talking about your generation and my generation.
I'm a baby boomer. And you're what?
Yeah.
Gen Z or something?
I don't know. I think I'm still classified as a millennial.
Yeah, right.
But not in the sense of like what people think of.
Right.
Because I'm older than that
And you're smarter than a lot of millennials, and you're working, you're gainfully employed, you know.
Yeah. But they,
Thank God.
What I was gonna say was that you have to make it happen, you know.
But
It's
people
not
don't know
also-
where to start, you know. We're almost out of time. Gee, I know.
Oh, the time flew.
I know. How do people make it happen fast?
How do you just have to work hard, be determined, and be passionate about what you love and want to do.
Right. Now, how can they contact you if they want to talk to you?
Oh, you can email me at ericprofessional@gmail.com.
ericprofessional, I always repeat it. ericprofessional@gmail.com.
And check out my Instagram page at CCNY2020 Film.
CCNY 2020 Film. Hey, Babs, I'm looking at you. Okay. Anyway, just kidding.
Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. And, well, we have a minute left, so anything else you'd like to say to people out there?
I think we ended off on a good note.
Yeah.
Not to be afraid of what you want to do, to be passionate about what you want to do, because I find a lot of people, you know, talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk,
Sure.
and they end up
Regretting everything.
Yeah, they ended up in
unhappy.
fields that they don't really
Exactly.
love, you know?
I once dated a lawyer who really hated being a lawyer. I mean, like he really hated, like he'd get drunk every night on cheap gallon wine because he hated it so much. I said, do something else because you're going to die. You know, it's not worth it. Don't do this.
Yeah.
He did it all his life. Anyway, on that cheerful note, this has been the Diana Montford Show. My guest has been LGBTQ filmmaker activist, Mr. Eric Ocasio, and you're going to hear great things from him in the future. I know it. I just feel it. Anyway, hey, listen, I love you even if no one else loves you. And Barbara Walters, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. It's a joke. Relax. But anyway, I love you even if no one else loves you, and I'll see you next time. Be good to yourself and don't be afraid. I love you a lot. Bye.